What's up, guys? Blockchain Brew crew in the house. Welcome back for another episode of the Blockchain Brew Show. I'm T Squared. That's Trent. We're going to talk to you guys about the markets. We've been busy the last couple of days. We apologize for that. The markets have been crazy. And we're going to get into it. I got some good notes on the about crazy stuff that's coming in the crypto future. But before we get into everything, I want you guys to smash that subscribe button and smash that like button too. We're double smashing, ringing, smashing all of them in the corners right now. That's right. Anywho, I'm going to break open my beer, and what I got tonight is cerveza. I gotta see if I pronounce this right. Cervantes. I think that's how you say it, and it comes in at 4.8% out of Triple Horn Brewery, and it says a Spanish style lager that is clean and golden in color with high clarity and low bitterness. Cervantes is refreshing with light flavors without being overly sweet, brewed with vina malt, giving the beer subtle notes of honey. Also flaked maize creates a subtle crispness and boosts its clarity. Perfect for easy and casual drinking in the sun. Well, I can tell you what, it's indoors and we're not in the sun, but we got light. It's kind of like the sun in a weird way. Not as warmth though, coming through the screen. And I'm kind of curious on how does one boost crispness, but we'll figure it out and I'll let you guys know. So I'm gonna pop it open. Oh, my Lotro bug. That's right. It's back. Though I might have a replacement coming sometime soon. Oh, kids, don't bite your fingernails. You can't drink beer. There we go. Popped it open. It smells kind of like rye. Kind of like a light beer. See if I could get this so you guys get on camera. It is clear. It kind of makes me think of a Corona color. It's very light. Very light. And there's the head coming up. Wow. They're right. It is not bitter at all. And it kind of was dripping down. Sweet like honey. I kind of like that. The aroma and phantasm powder. You haven't had phantasm powder in a while. You need to bring that back.
Right? I think you have a fan in the comments.
I'll find a way to get those cans open without any fingernails. If it's a bottle, now bottles, I could do a bottle. You just pop it. I'm trying to think about that. You ever use like a fork and like, I don't know, like popped it open with a fork? I'm like super crazy. So like, if anybody like enchiladas or something, use an aluminum fork to take it out, dude, that aluminum flavor, dude, sticks to that fork. You ever notice that? I don't know. I could taste it. I'm like, dude, Sarah will make something with a aluminum fork. I'm like, just throw it out. It's ruined. It's gone. I will never use that fork again. It makes like a battery like tip to the fork. Use a butter knife or something when no one puts it in their mouth. Not a fork. You're like eating cereal and with a spoon and someone popped it open, scraped something. Oh, terrible for you.
I have a bad habit of picking my fingernails off, so I mean, I just be popping cans open with like my bare skin, as opposed to my human skin.
That's how you do it without fingernails. Use your teeth. or use your toenails.
Oh,
son of a mother.
Anyways.
What you got cooking for us, Trent, on your end?
today, the first Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the month, my church does a fast. So, I have a different kind of brew for you
Fast.
today. And it's a coffee.
Is that clear? Wait, how do we know that's a coffee?
What do you want me to do? Like have a coffee cam when it's dripping out of the
Well, if it's a coffee and it's not a beer you kind of savor. So a coffee is more like an espresso. You just boom, one go, and I would like to see you do that.
It's a whole cup. It's not a shot of espresso. I'm gonna spill it all over myself if I do
Yeah.
that. But
No.
I do have a specialty coffee here from Onyx Coffee, and they're in. I believe Molly said they're in Arkansas. But what they do is they go to high altitude places and remote places, and they source these beans from places that the big box coffee companies don't want to go to because it cuts into their profit margin. And by doing that, it helps bring some income and some cash into those places, and it's good for everybody. And this one is from Ethiopia, and the notes on it are jasmine, apple butter, apricot, and toasted coconut.
Sounds pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Like,
heard of the monkey bean poop coffee? You know what I'm
ooh.
talking about?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like that super expensive, like $1,000 per bag or whatever it is.
Nesquik also knows what you're talking about. Not
Yeah.
because she drinks it or anything. Um, you know, it's exactly the opposite.
Smash that like button, guys. We only got 2 likes. Bring it up to the watchers.
What do you think, Molly, about the monkey poop coffee?
Oh yeah, she drinks it for sure.
She drinks that for sure.
What do you think about it, though? That after that time you tried it,
Smash.
It's not all hype.
Hey,
Hype up to what it's supposed to be.
smash or pass for she said,
Monkey
"How
poop
dare you,
coffee.
Molly?" For monkey poop coffee. There we go. All right. So, what's what's the market brewing for us today?
Market brewing for us today. Let me see. Do you want me to go in charts? Do you want to go in charts, or do you want me to read my article?
You can kick us off. Well, however you want to kick us off. You can read the article and then go into
I
chart.
think I'm going to read the article. If that's all right with
All right.
you. I think it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Let me find it for you, because I have interesting, weird, what, how, why. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is rothschildsco.com.
They
So,
say you're not supposed to say that name on YouTube.
well, we'll just say
I'm
I,
I'm good with it.
I'm just saying that I talk a little abnormal, so I think I'm okay. I could get away with stuff. I've always have.
you saying the algorithm's not gonna catch it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Prove me wrong.
Go for it.
Anyway, you distracted me. So we got Rothschilds and Co. Asset Manager. Blockchain large-scale adoptions accelerated by supportive regulatory movement. Regulatory. Where was I going to jump into? All right, I'm going to just start right here. You go over 50% of Fortune 100 companies are executing a strategy based on blockchain technology. The large-scale adoption of this technology is underway and accelerating. This momentum was particularly strong in 2024, and last year was indeed marked by institutionalization of digital assets, as illustrated by successful launch of Bitcoin ETFs on the U.S. market, with notably iShares and IBIT assets under management quickly exceeding its physical gold equivalent within just a few months, with over 50 USD raised by the end of 2024. Stable coins and essential market infrastructure with digital asset world reached over 33 trillion transactions, $33 trillion in transactions and volumes over the past 12 months. This is more than 2.5 times Visa's transactions volumes in 2024 and paves the way for large-scale asset tokenization, which is interesting about this because a lot of people don't realize like how advanced we are with crypto, and just for the fact that more people use Visa, but crypto has more transactions from more than Visa. So it just tells you how many transactions crypto is going to have in the future when it becomes everybody broadly uses it. Regulatory frameworks are becoming increasingly better defined globally, supporting substantial addressable market growth for digital assets. I really want to read this like nonchalantly and with like some good like phantasm in it. And
some good phantasm.
No, I said phantasm, but the same thing. Phantasm. But I'm worried that if we do it later, the thingy won't be.
We need the dramatic reading.
Dramatic reading. All right. In Europe, the MiCA regulation sets up uniform rules for crypto assets under service providers. Hong Kong has expanded digital asset products access to retail clients. The United Arab Emirates have created dedicated agencies to supervise players in this sector. In the United States, the new administration signals for a radical shift in regulatory approach towards these technologies. In the U.S., concrete measures supporting this industry has already been rolled out and clearly demonstrates the strength and commitment. The White House is consultation with major players recently hosted a summit dedicated to digital assets. A strategic Bitcoin reserve has also been created by presidential executive orders. These early actions mark the beginning of a new regulatory era driven by pro-innovation administrations. The SEC has withdrawn lawsuits against emblematic players such as Coinbase, Gemini, Robinhood, the leadership of key agencies, the SEC itself, as well as the CFTC and the FDIC and the OCC. All the SEC OCCs have all been taken care of and has been replaced by experts of support to blockchain ecosystem and development. The appointment of David Sachs, an iconic figure in the tech ecosystem and a sophisticated investor in the sector, a special advisor to the White House, is part of the overall dynamic. Furthermore, in the coming months, additional measures to support the development of the economic prosperity of the entire industry in the United States is expected to include potential tax incentives. I have a little bit more to go, but I don't know if you want to end there.
What kind of incentives? The U.S. based projects, probably, right?
I think there's a lot coming.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot. I think that's just one of them.
Right.
I
did hear something, for all of our day traders out there. I did hear that, the first $10,000 of trading profits is not going to be taxed as income. So, I mean, that's pretty cool.
That is neat.
It'll basically be a $0 or 0% tax on that, on the first 10 grand of profits. So,
really? A bipartisan bill in stablecoins is currently being debated in the U.S. Senate, marking crucial milestones never reached before. It follows on from the FIT 21 Act on Financial Modernization, which I'm not too familiar with that act. You could fill us in later, Trent. The stakes of such regulatory framework are substantial for players in the sector. Its implementation will promote innovation, enable the industry to access new markets, and develop products and solutions with immediate applications, nearly in payments, but capital markets, instant payments, and automatic collateral management, tokenizations, etc. Moreover, market infrastructure bill defining the digital asset taxonomy is set to be debated shortly. Both legislation efforts and priority for Trump's administration, which aims for them to pass before August, which is what you were talking about, the taxes. Many companies have announced advancements in digital asset strategies, such which are previously remained on sidelines, now declare they are considering integration within their corporate treasury or development new product and service offerings. Citadel, for instance, recently announced elevating its role as a market maker for digital asset trading. Other accelerants product development using blockchain technology across new verticals such as Robinhood or BlackRock in the field of tokenization. The repeal of restrictive accounting rules such as SAB 121 in the United States marks its banking sector and reopening actors of digital assets ecosystem. It significantly expands the addressable market for allowing banks to incorporate this type of asset for their balance sheets without excessively impacting capital ratios. You know, I got on my mind the beer. The moreover, the
Hey, if we're
OCC
smash or pass on SAB 121, it's hard pass. You remember what that was, right? It's in
No.
2021
I don't even remember.
when they came out with that that regulation about having to register as a broker. Basically, anyone that does any
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
transaction ever has to register as a broker, which
Yeah.
is stupid, but it's also being repealed. So, you know, whatever. You know, it's something that stupid was never going to last, anyways.
Well, and long story short, because most of this is after that, it's kind of like, bleh. But it's telling you that you really think we're in a bear market right now or the bull market. You know why Bitcoin's falling? It's because these people like BlackRock, Citadel, the Rothschilds co. They all want to buy
Trump.
Bitcoin on the cheap. They all want to buy it on the cheap.
The Trump family.
They all want to buy it on the cheap.
Right.
I mean, I'm taking advantage of it too.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how many people actually sell it. And to BlackRock, like you think about it right now, like all the big people that are holding it, if they left.
I don't hear you anymore. I don't hear you anymore at all. Did you unplug from the mic? Can you hear me?
Hey, so I unplugged my mic by accident, and then when
Oh.
you unplug it, apparently you accidentally go on mute.
Got
I
it.
was just saying that all the normies are holding. That's not very many normies holding Bitcoin. It's all big people now. BlackRock, Citadel, Grayscale. You know, they all like to buy Bitcoin on the cheap, and people like me and you all slightly along for the ride, but we're making money on the way.
Yes. Well, do we have anything in the charts we want to look at?
Yes. I could cover that with my wins for the week.
Okay. Well, before we go there, I have a couple things and then we'll get to that. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. Present, share screen, trading view. Share this tab instead and add the stage. So something that I like what I see here with this long green wick, this bullish reversal candle right here. And I like that man, the candle close came in like right at the same level as these other candle bodies. I mean, it's just so much support came into so much buying pressure and so much support came into the market right there that the body of the candle couldn't make a close any lower than it did over here in this range. Now, you have this long green wick right here, and it had me kind of worried last night because it was dipping quite a bit under my line of support that I have drawn right here. And if you notice, I'm gonna bring up my drawing tool and I'll use my highlighter. So right in here, this range, we don't have any historical price action in this range. The reason why is because the previous all-time high was put in at, earlier in 2024, the previous all-time high was put in at about 74,000 and it was 73,900 something. And, once I'll back up, it's the beginning of this bull flag. That was put right here came in at about 73.7. And then once we broke that, we flagged out, we broke it. We tested it again on this candle right here on November the 6th of 2024. We flagged out for 1, 2, 3 days. And then we just shot past it. So, the low, which is why you're seeing over here on the VPVR, the volume profile of the visible range, there's this low volume gap right over here. And that's why you can run the risk of the price falling straight through this area because there's not very much price history there to hold it. You would almost kind of bet on the next level coming in anywhere in this range where there's actually candles and price history. Even all the way down to 69, the top of the beginning of the top of this bull flag. Well, that's 73, but let's say even to the bottom of the bull flag coming in at anywhere from 67 to 69. But I don't think we're going there. I think we're holding support in this range. And here's the reason why. I put out a video, a little phone record earlier about this. If you look at the 2017 chart, and I'll just go to it real quick.
Oh
Let
my
me
gosh.
let me know if you have any thoughts about that while I pull it up.
I do have thoughts, but I haven't. I will show you when I share my chart. I'm pretty close to agreeing with you, but I will make an argument where we might go a little lower
Right.
on my end.
Well,
But
here's why.
who's to really know? Who's
Yeah.
to really know?
Yeah. Here's why though. I'll show you what I'm thinking right here. We're on the Bitstamp chart, which is has the longest, it has the most price history of any chart that there is. It goes all the way back to like 2011 or so. So here we are in the 2017 bull run. That's what you're looking at right here. Now, if I zoom in a little more, right over here, I'll bring up my highlighter. All right, that range right there is the top of the 2013 market. And if I if I zoomed in, it's actually a lot bigger than it looks on the chart. So that those are our 4-year cycles, okay? 2013, 2017, 2021. You see how each time it dwarfs the the previous run on the chart, and then here we are in 2025. Now, going back to this 2017 chart, if you look at what it did, the high from 2013 was just under $1,200. Now, right in here, you're getting this first real run up in the 2017 bull run. And in June of 2017, you see this red candle dip right here, and it came down. If you look at even the very bottom of this correction, which was only a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 week. Well, yeah, it's about 5 weeks of correction right there, to the downside. And what happened is that the Bitcoin price crashed from around $3,000 down to about
You
1,800.
didn't hear that.
So, there were people in that market that would have expected to actually come down and test the previous high. And it didn't. It held above it. Now, then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks after that of bullish action. And then you had another correction right here. Look at what happened on that correction. It came down and it tested exactly the previous high from over here in June. So September of 2017, you had a correction, came down and tested the previous high from June of that year. I mean, it bounced perfectly off of it. So, this is what the market wants to do. It's very common for the market. It doesn't mean it'll do it every time, but it's very common for the market to want to come down and test the previous highs. So, what that means for us right now is that we've almost perfectly tested the top of this bull flag right here, which would have been the all-time high at the time on March 24th of 2024. That $73,900 for Bitcoin in March of 2024 was the highest price that the asset had ever seen. And what do we know? It comes down here and it almost perfectly tests the previous high. And I mean, I think that's a sign of
Could be the bottom.
of the bottom.
Could be the bottom.
On the daily chart, you're getting that you're still seeing that bullish divergence we had coming in over here. I'll redraw the lines because I'm on Bitstamp now. Okay. And then we had the RSI making a higher we had the momentum coming up on the RSI, the relative strength index, as the price was coming slightly down. That's classic bullish divergence. And what do you know? You have it here a second time. Coming from here to here, you have a slightly lower low with a slightly higher high on the RSI. And I'm not a master technical analyst or a technical analyst, but look at this. Like you have this double bottom here, or I would consider this move right here as one bottom. And then you have this bottom over here, and both of them seem like they're putting in this bullish divergence. So I don't know, like, you combine that with the fact that, like, just take away everything I just said and then just look at the buying pressure that comes in on this candle right here. Like, there's so much buying pressure that's coming in as support in this area that, the RSI doesn't even wanna make new lows, on the momentum. Last thing I'll say is that y you have let me see where I can get the CME.
The CME gap.
It's a BTC1 exclamation point. So to find out where our CME gaps are, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna type in BTC1 exclamation point. Why that's what it is, I don't know. I don't make the rules. But, what did we say when we were having our first crash down here to 78,000 or so, right? We had this CME gap, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the futures exchange, where the future price of Bitcoin is basically bet on the stock market. Well, the market closes on the weekend, and if you have a big move over the weekend, you'll end up with a gap between where the price left off on Friday and where it opens on Monday. And these gaps always almost always get filled. You come on, you go on to have, all these weeks of bullish price action here, but sooner or later we had to come down to fill this gap. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did wonder to myself, okay, are we gonna, finish the bull market and then maybe next year in the bear market is when we come down to fill this gap? And it's actually a good thing that we did it this early, in my mind. So, we came down and filled this gap. Well, look at what we have here. We have at about $82,000. It's a little one, but we have a little gap right here that was created this weekend, and this time the gap is to the upside. So I do expect us to come up and fill that gap at 82,000. I mean, we're only at you know, about 80,000 even right now. But I do expect us to come up and fill that. Whether we get rejected right there is, obviously a different story. But I think we're coming up to fill that gap. And I don't know. I mean, we might punch through it. Again, the last time we had a bullish divergence, it came up pretty aggressively and popped through. You have this you could call it a rising wedge right here. Last time we made a bullish divergence, it led to several days of upward price action, and I don't know. I don't think that we're gonna just fill it and bounce down. So I'll just say one more thing before we move on. I'll share this tab over on Twitter, and Arthur Hayes again is saying, what's he saying? He's saying that
I'm
the
checking. Do you know you don't follow Arthur Hayes?
You know what? I'll do you one better. I followed him and I'll like it and I'll repost it. There you go. So he says if you're trying to predict when the Fed caves and goes burr or turns on the money printer, watch the bond volume move index. As it goes higher, anyone doing financed treasury or corporate bond trades will be forced to sell by higher margin requirements. These are the two markets the Fed will defend to the death. Greater than 140 equals Yahtzee time. In other words, he's saying if this line gets over 140 here, money printing is, they're printing to the moon or printing us in the ground, however you want to think about it. But that like the market has been showing all of this bearishness because of the tariffs, and we covered this last week, but it's been showing all this bearishness because of the tariffs. And what we don't understand is that the tariffs create a money gap for the Federal Reserve and for US Treasury bonds. It creates a money gap that we're not making as much in foreign trade, as we're spending. That's what Trump is trying to correct by the tariffs. But the consequence of the tariffs is that those countries don't want to let us borrow money as easily. And so that money gap is going to be made up for by quantitative easing, by money printing. And when we get quantitative easing, what do we get? An altcoin season. It's Arthur Hayes here is saying, hey, the treasury bonds being negatively affected by tariffs, that's the one thing that the Fed is going to defend more than anything else is treasury bonds. And if they have to print money to, I don't know about save the treasury bonds, but if they have to print money to prop up the treasury bonds, they're going to do it. So, yeah, that's what I have for that.
You want me? I'll show you my screen. But what do you think is bigger, Shiba Inu or Sui
What do you mean by bigger?
market cap?
Oh, because you're asking the question, I'm gonna say Sui.
No, Shiba.
Oh, okay.
Shiba has a bigger market cap than Sui does. That's how you know you're getting a good deal on Sui.
Yeah. Hey, Sui has recently passed it though, right?
I don't probably, but
Yeah.
also Hedera is below Shiba too.
Right. What do you got against Shiba? Shiba, smash or pass?
I missed it. That's why I hate it. Did you get my screen?
Oh, yes. Go for it.
So here's my thought process to your thought process. Okay. So where are we at? Make sure I'm looking at my screen. We're going to right. So we go to the day, hours. So when I go over here, I can see that we have a green dot supposedly marking the bottom on the 4 hour. The green dot's there on the 5 hour. The green dot's there on the 6 hour. This also supports you. It's there on the 6 hour. The 8 hour, it just formed. 12 hour, it's there. 16 hours there. The daily, it's not there yet. And so this is one of the reasons why I think that we might go down a little bit. So we got all these other time frames saying that we're going up, curling up. And maybe this does curl this blue wave, oscillator wave right here. And we do get that green dot. But we haven't got that yet. And the fact that money flow is still in the red and the VWAP still below the zero line, I think that we still could have another day or two of trading sideways, slightly up or slightly more down. And right now we almost have a doji candle, which is a wicks even top and above and below the body. 3 saying the bulls are in control, 4 saying the bears. So it's just slightly, ever so slightly in the bears' favor. The 2-day, it's saying that we still could have at least another 2 days of negative action. And we have a 14 saying that the bears are pushing it down. And a 3-day, we're also right there. We still haven't got that second green dot. It's saying close. We got the green money flow, though it's starting to turn slightly red, possibly. In the 5-day, we almost have no money flow with a red dot top and bottom, saying that we could have another week maybe of downward momentum. And if I go to the weekly doesn't have a red dot, so that's a positive. So maybe that's a false alarm. And the weekly is still in the green. Money is still coming in. People are still buying Bitcoin. It's not being sold. It's more like shorts and whatever you want to call it, getting pushed out. And we're really close to flipping this oscillator wave right here, where it kind of gets a grounded top or bottom, like this, where as soon as it flips up, we can start curving upwards, and heading up to whatever, to the bull. That's my paint tool. We could almost get like a curvature like that, and then we could kind of go like that, and might be the bull run. And yet again, this might look not kind of small, but we are on the weekly, so it's like 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. It's really long and whatever. So I'm just saying that I think that we might get like
What a
another
beautiful
week.
piece of art you just drew.
Oh, thank you. It's like a swing. It's like a swing. Though I'm just saying that I think we have at least a week possibly moving sideways.
Yeah. See,
That
but if we do, or if we go down, like I don't like, the worst I see is a sort of triple bottom. Like, I just don't see us, and of course we could, but I just don't see us going past that previous high. To the I don't see us falling below that previous high. And if we did, it's gonna look like a big wick that just gets bought right back up in the same day.
It could be. It could be. I mean, that's kind of what happened like today. I mean, we only had that giant dip, like only lasted 12 hours. And yet again, if you look at the chart, I'm trying to point with my hand. Like where am I at? I don't know if you can see it on my screen. I have to go over here. If you go over here and you look, like that's almost break even point. Like it doesn't mean that we're gonna go down. It just doesn't mean we're gonna go up right away.
Right.
Like yet maybe we'll get good news tomorrow and it just shoots way the freak up. And then there you go. There you get your green dot, and everything else will turn green too. And then when everything is green, it's go time, baby.
Yes. Well, is it time for the garbage?
Garbage in the night. Garbage in the night. Garbage in the night. You have any guesses, Trent? What I found?
Shout out again to Onyx Coffee. I'm just saying that because
how do you spell that?
ONYX. Not, I don't know why I'm showing you the package. It's not on here.
How do you spell Ethiopia?
Oh, it's right there. Onyx. Ethiopia. ETHIOPIA.
Close second. Ugh. Are you ready for what I found this week?
I was born ready.
So, guys, I have a great story to how I found these. So first off, I just want to let you guys know this all came from one single place. Oh, did I get them all?
Yeah.
And yes, I checked all the discs to make sure they were there and still clean. And knowing me, I'm just a hardcore gamer collector. I'm like, dude, I just gotta hold these. A disc, you won't be able to find discs in the future. So, it's fancy to me to be able to find discs. Anyways, the story is, I was in this neighborhood on my Friday, okay, and I saw a vacuum go poof into my bin, and I was like, what? Another vacuum? I was like, I gotta go get that one. Well, I go in there, and then it was a vacuum top, but it didn't have the bottom. It was just dead. But I was like looking in there. I was like, wait a minute. I think I see a single game like hanging out there in like the bottom of my garbage bin. And I was like, where's my grabber? I'm just gonna go check. I get my little grabber.
Grabber? I don't even know her.
And I pinched my little grabber, and I got the disc, and I opened it up. I'm like, hey, look at that. And I was like I sat down. I realized the second game, like, was below it. And I was like, wait a minute, I can't reach down with the grab. I gotta get inside the box. And I kind of climbed over my box and I went down there and grabbed it. And as I was like looking at this one, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a jackpot. This whole bag's full. And I just took the whole bag out with me, took it out to my truck, and went through that person's garbage right in front of her house. I couldn't leave that there. I was there for like 10 minutes. Yes, Trent? Trent's got no volume because he is on mute. So I will keep you entertained.
Sorry. Yes, that was a good find. Sorry, I was just looking for something.
What were you looking for?
Did
Did you finish your coffee?
No.
I've almost finished my beer.
Well,
Did you wear your jeans?
no.
Ugh.
I'm going on to Vanessa.
Okay.
Tell Vanessa I'm on my way.
Sorry, got distracted. Okay, so
It's okay. Wives
We're-
distract me too. My wife. So I'm like, yes, honey. Well, I'm in the middle of something important. Always.
So where are we headed?
Have you ever heard of
Tyler's watch list, or are we wrapping up with Cardano Spotlight already?
Well, I was just gonna ask you, have you ever heard of Fast Token?
I have, yeah.
Do you know anything about it? Because it's like top 45 project or 41, and I'm like, never even heard of this.
Oh, hold on, give me 1 second.
No.
Sorry. Yes, Fast Token. Someone that I know wrote a script for someone that I know. This someone that I know is not me. It's a different.
It's your wife.
No. No, it is a woman, but she wrote a script about Fast Token, and I'm trying to remember what she said about it.
She
I
said,
don't remember, but
better.
the gist of it was that she thought it was pretty scammy. I don't remember her reasons exactly. I know that the price action didn't look too kosher, but I don't remember what she said about anything behind the scenes or anything like that.
Scammy. That's what she
Yeah.
said. Well, let's go to the Cardano Spotlight, Trent.
Okay. So, today I'm going to show you a long that I entered yesterday. And you know what? I don't know. I have not looked at whether I'm in profit or not. So you're going to find out right here live whether I am in profit on this. Let's see. Go ahead and keep us entertained while I log in here.
Well, remember I was just talking to you about like the Bitcoin being the bottom on the weekly. I was like, it wasn't quite there yet.
Yeah.
Well, ETH is like screaming it's there. ETH is saying I'm bottomed.
Yeah. I think so too. Okay, so guys, I am in profit.
Well, you should share your screen.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So I can make sure that you're telling the truth.
By the time I share my screen, I might not be in profit anymore.
Well, just share your screen first.
Okay, so here is my trade. Can you see me moving? Okay.
Yes.
So I entered this. I'm $38 in profit to be exact. So I entered this trade at the very end of church yesterday. Don't judge me. Church was basically over.
And now you have $45 profit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Don't judge
something.
me. Church was basically over, but I was getting all these notifications on my phone from CoinMarketCap that Bitcoin is dipped below $77,000, and this
I
and
was
that.
too.
Yeah,
I was at church. I was looking at it. I was like, wow, look at it go.
yeah.
My church was right in the middle of the sermon. I couldn't stop watching it. I put a
Well,
paper short in. It was so exciting.
what was the sermon about?
Divorce.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Ah,
hey, so you paid attention to the sermon and looked at the
I
charts.
did.
Nice. Well, I went in. My entry price on ADA was 58 cents,
Oh, man, $50.
0.5889. So I put up about $1,500 on this trade, and I went in at 2x leverage. And so if I'm not putting in a stop loss, um, if the price goes down to 29 cents, 0.296, I will lose my position here and I will get liquidated. And I don't care. I've done it before. I'll do it again. So, um, this is pretty low risk though, guys. Like 2x leverage. Now, look, okay. In the past, in a former life, in a not so mature state that I'm presenting myself in now, I have been liquidated on 2x leverage. So don't think to yourself, especially in altcoins, that oh, for sure the price can't go that low. You know, when you start telling yourself that, it can definitely go that low.
So when are you
Uh,
gonna close the trade?
when am I going to close the trade? I don't know. I'm thinking about keeping it open
But you're up
indefinitely.
$50.
Sure. I mean, but look, I don't, you know, I don't put up 150. Sorry, 150,000. I don't put up $1,500 to make 50. If I wanted to do that, I would put up, you know, I would I'd be trading the minute chart, and I'd wait for the 1 minute to cross the 200 to the upside, or I'd wait for the 50 to cross the 200 on the upside. No, not the 50, just the candles on the 1 minute chart to cross the 200 EMA, and I would put in like a 10x long, and I'd put like $25 up, or I'd put $50 up, and I'd get out of it real fast.
Question.
Yeah.
Um, are you aware that we had a CME gap on Cardano at 55 cents?
A CME gap.
Yeah, it jumps from when the market's closed, it jumped from 55 to 59.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter unless Cardano futures were tradable on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Like on Bitcoin, you have to type in BTC, BTC1 exclamation point to
Oh,
actually
okay.
see the Chicago Mercantile Exchange chart. Um, Cardano futures aren't even a thing over there, so I don't think that's
Big deal.
but right, but we did actually go down to 55, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. So, that
We
definitely would have
went
been,
down to 51.
yeah. Ooh, this weekend?
Yes. March
Dang.
that was yeah.
Last night, yeah. I that definitely would have been a better a better entry point for me. But you know, my logic, I didn't have time to go
This
home
is
and look
crypto. We don't have logic.
at I didn't have time to go home and open up the charts and really kind of parse out what I wanted to do. I just knew that at 58 cents it was a hell of a deal, and I was willing to
And
kind
you
of
were
put
pretty
in,
sure that we weren't going to go to 2 cents.
yeah, well, to 29 cents, yeah.
Yeah.
So, 58 cents, I was looking at that. It's a hell of a deal. If it goes down more, that's fine. I was willing to take it right there. So, I don't know. I plan on keeping this one open for a while. I have 2 other trades open on Femex, that have been open for a while. I'm down on them pretty bad. Nowhere near being liquidated, but I have one on Render and I have one on Ondo, and those are both at 2x. But I have about $5,000 on each of those. On 2x leverage. So I'm planning on keeping those open for a while, and I plan on coming back to this trade right here during the Cardano spotlight for you guys. As we watch this number go up. So yeah, that's really all I have for Cardano today. I'll come over here and go to Tap Tools real quick and see if we have
Tap,
anything
tap,
new.
tap, tap. What does Tap Tool say?
Let me share. There we go. ADA holders, when they realized Cardano is about to dominate real world assets and tokenization. Yeah, Indigo. I meant to buy some more Indie for you guys last week. I'm gonna do that probably tomorrow.
I wonder what Indy got down to this week, yesterday.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I'm looking at it right now. It's at 78 cents right at the moment.
Dude.
It actually really didn't really drop too bad. It got down to 69 cents.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, you know what the Motley Fool is?
Nope.
It's it's like a newsletter, a paid newsletter for stocks. It's been around for years. Within the last couple of years, they just started writing about crypto, but they're, they started as a TradFi market analyst newsletter, market analysis newsletter. So they wrote about Cardano governance as deliberate, democratic, and built to last. Couldn't agree more. We have over 30,000 new tokens were launched on Cardano in March alone, making one of the most active months in the network's history. Let's go.
Tell me one.
Huh?
What's one token?
Oh, I don't know. One newly launched token this month? I don't know. That's a good question.
I'll take a guess. Baby snack.
No, but we do have snack.fun. That's a meme. You know what? Actually, that's probably where a lot of these tokens are coming from, right? We have
the meme environment.
Here it is right here. Well, that's Snack on Tap Tools. Oh, here it is. Snack.fun integration with Tap Tools. So that's a meme coin launch pad on Cardano, and you know how those meme traders are. They're probably launching all kinds of stuff. So None of which is important, but Cardano's 11 hours ago. Cardano's top traded tokens: SNEC, IUSD, which is a stable coin, USDM, USDA, and DJED. Actually, 2 through 5 are all stable coins. And then at number 1, you got SNEC.
I told you, man. It's all about the memes. SNEC was my biggest holding. I was like, why buy ADA when you could buy SNEC?
Well, yeah, that's
Okay.
oh, this looks like an AI token. Roll. I'm gonna have to look into that. I'll look into that and I'll let you guys know tomorrow. An AI agent launchpad plus questing platform fueling social fi and on-chain growth, gamified quests, rewards, and real-world assets, all powered by Roll, bringing AI growth and engagement in one ecosystem. Let's go. I'm gonna have to buy that too, I think. But I'll let you know more tomorrow. So yeah, you want to wrap up? Give us a beer rating?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I was going to say with this can, why is one guy on the donkey and one guy's on a horse with a spear? I was just trying to maybe that's a mule, but I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. My beer is just about done. There you go. It is you know how I describe it is a sour honey. That's kind of what it tastes like. It really has that strong honey taste, which that's what they said. And honey's generally sweet, which is what my mind tells me. But the aftertaste on my tongue tells me it's more like a sour. You know, it was pretty good. I don't mind it. It's kind of like what they said, you something to drink out in like a nice day. Kind of like makes me think of a tea almost. I don't think I would overly go out of my way to get them, but I would give it. I don't drink a lot of lagers. I'd give it
lager. I don't even know her.
I'll give it a 7.2.
Okay. Well, I'm not so much into rating my coffee, but you know, like, hey, it tastes fresh. It tastes fresh. We did just, you know, these are whole bean, and we grinded some of them right before I poured it, and so yeah, it's super fresh. And you know, I do like to drink my coffee black, unless I'm getting a latte or something, but hey, tastes good to me. It's fresh, and
I like black coffee too. The only thing about black is it gives me heartburn. So I generally can't do as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But I like black too. I like how it makes my breath smell.
Well, want to sign us off?
Yes. Guys, never too late to smash that like. Make sure you shake the screen.
I thought you were going to say make sure you shake that booty.
Shake the subscribe button. The subscribe bell. It's in the corners. And thanks for joining us again. It's always a blast to hang out with the Brew Crew on any day, any given day, and we'll hang out, look at charts, have a few beers, which is really only like one, and Trent had coffee, but just to hang out with our friends and enjoy company. So thank you again. It's an honor. We wouldn't be here without you guys, but we probably actually would. Have a good night. Unless you have anything else to say, Trent.
Join us on the next episode of the Blockchain Brew Show.